destroyed Warne. Warne at that stage was absolutely the #1 spinner in the game, probably the #1 spinner in history. It was before Murali really emerged. And it was as if Tendulkar saw it as his personal responsibility to take Warne out of the equation.
In early 1999, India and Pakistan played a test series on Indian soil for the first time in 12 years. After being dismissed for naught in the first innings, Tendulkar was at the crease as India crashed to 5 for 82, chasing 271 to win. He went on to make one of the great test match centuries.
He's a great achiever, you know, he motivates himself. When the chips are down, he can really raise his game, really, bring the team up by his individual performance, and that is what his quality is. And that is one reason, you know, at the age of 26, 27, he has more than 50 hundreds in international cricket.
It's a big shot, a very big shot indeed from Tendulkar. One bounce, 4 over extra cover.
Tendulkar's popularity in India is unprecedented, but despite the enormous pressure, he retains his humility and dignity.
Back home in India, it's a little difficult to move around freely. People love the sport and the sportsmen, so it gets a little difficult. You don't have your privacy. Well, that's a price one has to pay for it. But looking at the other side of the coin, I feel, you know, it's the love and you know, the good wishes which you know, when you go on the ground, you have 100,000 people cheering for you, praying for your success. That it does help, and it means a lot to me.
To see the kind of pressure that Tendulkar plays under, you have to go to India and hear the noise when he's about to come out to bat, and he takes the pressure of carrying the hopes of an enormous nation, by far the biggest nation in the cricket world. And he handles it. He never lets them down. Every series, virtually every series, he gets 100.
Oh, he's like a god in this country. I mean, he's treated like a god, and he behaves like a god as well, literally, because a person with so much of expectations, with so much of pressure on his head, you never see him lose his temper. As I said, you know, like, he would, if anybody wants to get photographed with him, he'll never say no.
He does seem to be someone who is humble and who loves the game. I understand that he was in Zimbabwe during the Indian tour recently, and he served as 12th man. That's not usual with someone who is a star in the team.
He is the absolute king. I mean, he rules that country, I think. He's just the love and the passion for the game of cricket in India. It's remarkable that it hasn't gone to his head. I mean, he is such a humble person, so down to earth, and again, got time for most people. I'd hate to be in his shoes. You know, just from that side where the pressure on his time and lack of privacy in the country that he lives, it must be, really a test of his character. But he's come through. You know, I've never seen him have an outburst on the field against an opponent with his own team side, amongst the public. So he's a person who really he's kept his nose really clean, and I just think he's got a good heart.
By the beginning of November 2001, Sachin Tendulkar had played in 84 test matches. In those 84 tests, he made 6,919 runs at an average of 57.18, with 25 centuries. In his first 273 one-day internationals, Tendulkar made 10,461 runs at an average of 43.41.
You've got to go by statistics to a large extent. You look at the players who have the averages over 50, and they are the greatest players, in not only statistically but in every sense of the word. And I think Tendulkar's statistics there just prove his value.
Brilliant. He's only 28, and he's just starting to work out, you know, what he's really capable of, and I think that he has an opportunity to be the first international batsman to score 100 international hundreds. He's got 50 odd now, and that would be Bradman-esque really, and perhaps that's, you know, that he's compared to Bradman, but if he could do something like that, then it would really be something special.
Charging over the top. How far has it gone? Has it gone far enough? It has, and I think he's so good. I think he's got to keep on motivating himself. I would be surprised if he doesn't get to at least 15,000 runs in Test cricket. I think he should be getting at least 50 Test centuries, and maybe 75 one-day centuries. So I mean, this is what I think. This is what I am hoping, that at the end of his career he would have that kind of a record.
I set myself a lot of goals, but I keep it to myself. I don't usually speak out. But it's always nice to have targets. Sometimes you reach your target, you feel happy, you want to better it. If you don't reach your target, the next time you try harder. And if you surpass your target, you want to try and score more and more runs. So eventually it boils down to scoring more and more runs the next time you go in.
Sachin has got a complete package. He's very hungry. Apart from his tremendous talent and ability, which we see every day, he is very hungry and very determined cricketer, and is one who doesn't like giving his wicket away very easily.
He's a champion player. I'm not surprised by his ability, because that's what everyone knows about it. But what makes me feel so great about him is he turns up day in, day out, and his tenacity is still the same. He wants to score runs every day. He walks out with a cricket bat, and which I think is absolutely amazing for somebody who's achieved so much.
I think there is always scope for improvement, and one is never satisfied with what you've achieved in life. You want to try and get more out of it, and that's the same case with me. I mean, I want to try and score as many runs as possible, and try and be as solid as possible and play good cricket.
Tendulkar, tremendous cricket, wonderful cricket. I would come on my bed any time to watch him. He's great. I mean, you just look at his record. He loves playing. He loves the game. And he knows what he represents. He knows he represents his people really well, and his team, and the game of itself.
By general consensus, he is the best batsman in the game today, and is amongst the top 4 specialist bats of all time. He is cricket's most popular player, particularly on the subcontinent, and is a fine role model. Still just 28, he will surely go on to even greater achievements. But for now, we celebrate him amongst ESPN's legends of cricket.